Beloved child, know that you have never been abandoned. In the longest nights that seem silent, your name is still being sung amid the myriad hymns of the heavenly hosts. Each time you sigh in the dark, a flame wing in heaven stirs for you. When you whisper yes, the old chains shatter like glass before the blazing light of God. And now I, the Archangel Michael, summon you. Become my light, a warrior of peace, sealed with the courage heaven has engraved upon your soul. There are moments when heaven calls your name, not in thunder but in a gentle breath within the storm. In the fire of trial, the light still comes to etch upon your brow a seal, the seal of courage, a sign of fidelity and a guarded calm. I see your soul shine through the choking smoke, not because you are unafraid but because you have chosen to love within your fear. You are called not to flee but to rise with me with the wings of faith and the flaming sword of hope. For each soul that is sealed is a small lamp helping to push back the night that would cover the world. You are not forgotten, child of the light. Every wound you have borne, every trembling of your heart is testimony that you are being tempered to become heaven's steadfast instrument. When darkness seems to hem you in, it is then that God is pressing his mark upon you. I, the Archangel Michael, have seen the little flame of faith within you, and I shelter it with my own wings of fire, that it not be quenched by the testing winds. Believe all that you are enduring is preparing you for a greater mission that you have not yet seen. This seal is not the glory of the flesh, but heaven's signet upon a courageous soul. It bears witness that you dared to say yes before the path appeared, dared to step forward while the ground still trembled. All who bear this seal become keepers of peace in a world of chaos, bearers of loving fire in cold places. When you hold fast to faith, you cause all heaven to tremble with a single small reply. I, Michael, am fighting beside you, for your courage makes heaven's name shine. Do not fear when the winds rise, for my wings are spread above your head. In every prayer you utter, I hear the warmth of faith. In every tear you shed, I see heaven's light reflected. Peace is not the absence of storms, but the certainty that one is fighting for you within them. You are not alone. Even when you think yourself weak, it is then that heaven arrays its ranks to guard your soul, that you may rise without losing who you are. Now that your soul has been touched by heaven's light and breath, let me lead you deeper into this sacred truth. For the seal of courage is not merely a sign, it is a covenant. A covenant that you are chosen and beloved, that you have true refuge in me, that a single yes can open the gates of grace, and that former wounds will be crowned as victory. Listen, for now I will unveil to you the mysteries of being chosen, shielded and sent like a warrior of light for this very hour of the world. My child, there are days your soul walks through barren places where your prayers seem to rise like a soft wind and dissolve into nothing. Yet in that very hush, God is listening more deeply than ever. Each breath you release is a small note woven into heaven's song. Not a single tear falls in vain, not one sigh is forgotten. For before this world knew you, God called you by a music that is His alone, tender, mighty, unmistakable. And I, the Archangel Michael, stand beside you to remind you being chosen is not random. It is a sacred invitation written into the first light of your soul. I have called you by your name, you are mine. Is 4, 3, 1. This word is the immutable seal, engraved upon you, though years or trials may blur all other things. Beloved child, when you feel small among the crowd, remember, it is precisely that littleness that makes room for the great grace of God to be revealed. Every chosen soul bears a unique way of reflecting heaven's light. Some are chosen to kindle by words, others by silence, others by unseen sacrifices. But all without exception are wholly loved. Not because you are perfect but because you belong to heaven, and I, Michael, see in you a true light, small yet steadfast, a light strong enough to drive the darkness back. Do you remember the story of Hagar, the woman who fled into the burning desert thinking herself unseen and forgotten? In the parched wilderness, God sent an angel to call her by name and to show her a well hidden right beside her. You see, God never lets the beloved perish of thirst in trial. He waits for a glance, a pulse of trust to open your eyes to the stream of grace that flows in secret. And in those hours of thirst I, the Archangel Michael, guard your waters that your soul may never run dry. Do not doubt your worth when the world turns its face away. What God has sealed cannot be erased by human hands. You may be walking through a long night, but it is only the backdrop against which your light is made more clearly seen. To be chosen does not mean to be spared trial. To be loved does not mean a smooth road. It means simply that heaven has entrusted you with a share of the light that must be carried into this darkness. When you rise, even if only to bow slightly in silence, heaven rises with you. For a soul that knows it is loved is a flame nothing can extinguish. I see in you a dignity that none can take. A flame, though small, that burns with fidelity. You are chosen not to hide in fear, but to blaze amid the wind. Each time you say fiat, even trembling, it is a bell ringing through the unseen, setting the hosts in motion. I, Michael, bear witness to each act of your courage, and it is your faithfulness that makes heaven smile. Therefore keep your peace. Keep your gratitude. Believe that when God's love seals you, He also appoints guardians to protect you with His own light. Not every battle asks you to swing a sword. Often it is enough to stand still in faith, and I will fight for you. And when you know you are chosen not to fear but to be sheltered, not to be solitary but to walk with heaven, then you will begin to sense the wings unfurling softly over your head. A gentle warmth, a strange brightening, and you will recognize the Archangel Michael is still here in the wind, in the fire, keeping watch over your peace. You may not notice it, but precisely when your soul falls silent, I have spread my wings to cover you. Not with the rush of wind or a blaze across the sky, but with a peace not of this world, a true refuge that only the beloved can enter by faith. That place is not a far country nor waiting at life's end. That refuge is my living presence. I, the Archangel Michael, gatekeeper of peace, bearer of the flaming sword, who fights for you in your frailest hours. There are battles you cannot see, and I have won them for you. There are accusations in the invisible realm, and I stand as witness, defending your soul with the light of God. The Lord Himself is your refuge, your stronghold, and He commands His angels to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 9:1-9-11. My child, do not mistake my unseen for my absence. Angels do not need a shout, only a whisper of faith. The very moment you yield and breathe, Lord, I do not know what to do, that is when my sword is drawn. Not to punish but to protect, not to drive away but to raise a ring of light around you in the darkness. There was a time when the prophet Elisha was surrounded by a great army. His servant trembled, for mortal eyes saw only enemies and the heart knew nothing but fear. But Elisha prayed, Lord, open his eyes. And at once the servant's eyes were opened, beholding a host of horses, and chariots of fire encamped about them. That story is not only for long ago, child. That host remains, I remain, and today your soul is covered by the same army of light. I do not tell you there will be no trials. I pledge one unchanging thing: you will never fight alone. When you are pressed to the limit and feel there is nothing left to hold, my wings spread widest. When your prayer is only a voiceless sigh, I understand, and those very sighs make me lift my sword higher. I do not need you to be strong in order to guard you. I need only your trust that you are worth protecting. Let your heart rest in this truth: you are not meant to carry everything alone. Your hands may tire, but another hand upholds you without letting go. Your eyes may sting, but there is one who never sleeps, keeping watch over you, with eyes that burn with justice and mercy. Each time you choose to step back and pray instead of reacting too quickly, I see. Each time you refuse to fall into despair, clinging to a last breath of hope, I remember. And those hidden choices move me, the Archangel Michael, to advance in your stead. There is a gentle power fighting for you, even as you are learning to love your own heart again after its wounds. So when your spirit sinks again over what you cannot yet see, close your eyes and keep walking, for beneath your feet I have laid a path of light. Not a dazzling light to make you stand out, but a steady light to keep you from falling. And perhaps when peace returns you will not know why you did not collapse. But I will know. For it was this hand that held you, these wings that covered you, and this sword that was raised not once but many times to keep the seal of courage within you from being dimmed. At that hour, when nothing outside had yet changed, something within you began a gentle turning, the place where a whisper grows strong enough to name a new light. And you will see, in that very delicate instant, you no longer sidestep the call. Do you know there are turning points of the soul that do not begin with thunder but with a silent nod? A simple yes spoken in the midst of uncertainty can set all heaven trembling. I, Michael, the Archangel, have witnessed great doors swing open from just such small whispers. Not because the word was powerful in itself, but because it was spoken in the fire, amid contradiction and confusion, at the very place where you could have stepped back, and chose to step forward. You sometimes imagine that to change your life you need a grand sign. Not so. The movement of the heights begins with a small motion in your heart. A fragile longing, yet enough to shatter shackles forged over years. When you dare to say yes, I consent, in that very moment a sacred detonation resounds in the unseen realm, cutting the invisible cords that have held you too long. And a new door, the door of freedom, of light, of mission, opens softly. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in. Rev 3:2:0. That invitation still sounds in your heart each day, not as a threat but with the pleading of a love greater than understanding. You may not know the next step, but if you will only say yes, the first step will appear, then the second, and then away. Remember, long ago Mary, a simple maiden in a small room at Nazareth, was called to what surpassed all reason. When the messenger came, her world reeled. No map, no detailed plan, only the summons to bear Emmanuel. And she said, Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord, let it be done to me according to your word. That yes, simple and brave, broke the fetters of centuries, reconciled heaven and earth, and opened the path for salvation to enter the world. From that day on, no human yes could ever again be small. I tell you this not to burden you, but so you will know your word bears immeasurable weight in the sacred cosmos. A single yes of yours can become light for another groping in the night. A gentle assent can become a resonance that touches souls waiting to awaken. I see you hesitate, not because you do not want to follow heaven, but because you fear you are not good enough, not holy enough, not ready enough. But childlight does not require the lamp to be perfect, only willing to burn. God does not wait for you to be finished, He waits for your consent. The rest He will do. I, Michael, the Archangel, will go before you to clear the path. My sword will cut the brambles that block the way. My wings will steady you when your knees tremble. But you must say yes. There come moments in life when nothing can hold you back except fear. Yet when you dare to pass through it with a single word, a single glance, toward the light, the old chains fall like glass, before the Sunday. Then you are no longer one who walks in doubt, but one who moves in the brightness of a vocation. And you will see no one can shut the door you have opened with a courageous yes. That door opens not only for you but for those who come behind you, those who are waiting for someone to step first, to believe first, to love first. Therefore, if there is today within you a very small emptiness, like a hairline crack in an old wall, let the light in. Do not wait for certainty. Be faithful in the small beginning, and heaven will see to the rest. There is something I wish you to hear with the heart. It is not the unwounded who are anointed, but those who have bled for love, who have space enough to carry healing light to others. You think a wound is a failure. No, my beloved. They are sacred marks, the quiet proofs of the soul's warfare. And wherever there is a scar, there has already been survival. I, Michael, the Archangel, do not seek flawless purity. I seek souls who dare to live truthfully, who dare to suffer without closing, who dare to stumble without denying the light they bear. For light is not only before you, often it shines out from the very cracks you once thought meaningless. I bear on my body the marks of the Lord Jesus. Gal 6, 1, 7. Have you ever thought, if a wound in the body can become a badge of honor, how much more precious is a wound in the soul when offered to God? I want to remind you of one seldom seen as a symbol of victory, Jonah. He who fled his calling, swallowed into the belly of the great fish, seemingly abandoned forever. Yet from within that deep in darkness and solitude Jonah prayed, and God used that very runaway to rouse Nineveh from its sin. Do you see, the one who feared became an instrument of repentance. The one who lost his way led a whole people home. I tell you this so you stop hiding. You need not wait to be fully healed before you are sent. Your wound placed in heaven's hands will become a cry stronger than any rhetoric, a voice that needs no sermon, only presence. And each time you think I am unworthy, remember those who think themselves unworthy are often the very ones God chooses for what no one else dares. I see a crown taking shape, not of gold, not of gems, but of the fragments you once wanted to reject. Every thorn of trial, every stitch of sorrow is being woven by God into a diadem, humble yet radiant. Do not be afraid to tell your true story. Others do not need a perfect hero. They need someone who has been broken and still chooses love. someone who was rejected and still opens the heart to receive another. A soul that was afraid and still stands trembling yet faithful. I, Michael the Archangel, have watched each of these steps. When you fall, I do not turn away. When you weep, I do not rush to lift you. I stand with bright sword and open wings waiting for you to recognize this wound does not make you weak, it is making you truly strong. For there is a strength that does not come from appearances. It comes from the place where you have lost and kept gratitude. From the place where you passed through night and still chose to trust the light. From the place where you were hurt and still stretch out your hand for another to hold. You will never know all the souls upheld by your quiet fidelity. But I know. And heaven remembers. One who can live honestly with the scars they carry is a warrior of light, not needing to speak, not needing to lead, only needing to stand. And when you begin to see that this crown is not only for yourself, you will understand that your life is awakening life in those who follow. Have you ever wondered why your life contains chapters not easy to read? Those turns that make you think your story is only your own small hidden of no consequence. The truth is, every step you take along the path of light and shadow leaves prints for another to walk in. I, Michael, the Archangel, have seen it often. A humble soul rises not for glory but for love, and the light from that one spreads like a spark leaping to dry forest. Thus when you rise from the ashes, you do not stand only for yourself, you open the door for others to dare hope. There are souls watching you in silence. They have not spoken. They are not yet sure. But they are looking on, they are wondering if you can make it through. They see the darkness gathering around you and they wait to know, will the light prevail? When you fall and still stand, when you choose mercy over resentment, when you continue to pray, though you see no result, they begin to believe it may be possible for them as well. And so you become a lighthouse, not needing to shout, only to shine enough that someone far offshore does not go down. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Mount 5:1-4. No one is anonymous in God's design. A great mission does not always require a large audience. Sometimes a single soul rescued in time becomes the reason an entire family, a lineage, even a generation is set on a new course. Remember Ruth the Moabite woman, widowed, overlooked in the eyes of the world. Yet when she remained faithful to her mother-in-law and chose to follow the God of Israel, she could not have known that path would make her an ancestress of King David and a vital link in the lineage that leads to Jesus himself. One unassuming decision by a woman no one noticed became the doorway through which salvation entered. So it is with you. Every quiet good choice you make lays a bridge across a chasm for someone else. When you forgive, you teach others that they too can be forgiven. When you refuse to give up, you hand on a living pattern of faith proven in fire. For this reason your life bears a mission, not merely to survive but to influence. Do not wait until you feel holy enough to believe you can be used. God does not wait for your perfection to begin. He chooses you even as you are still learning to stand. And I, Michael the Archangel, will keep fighting at your side, not only to protect you but to guard the souls you will touch whose names you do not yet know. You cannot see the full reach of your influence because it does not stop in this moment in time, it touches souls yet to come. Perhaps one day a child will walk steadily, because of the light you left behind. Perhaps a mother will begin to pray because she read your words. Perhaps someone who lost their way will return after witnessing your rising again. Therefore, when you choose to live this day fully in the light, even in the smallest things, you are changing a part of the world. That is why I never take my eyes off you. I know that every time you rise, you do not save only yourself, you clear a path for many souls to follow the light you have just reached. Beloved, if you have heard what I have been whispering within your heart all this time, then you have also heard a quiet bell sounding in your soul. It is no strange call. It reminds you who you are, one chosen, loved, guarded, and sent. It is no accident that your soul trembles at lines that seem like mere words. Into each one I have set a small flame, enough to light the way back to something more sacred than the ordinary. You were not born merely to survive. You were born to rise and to make a way. I know you sometimes wonder, why me? I answer, because within you is a measure of light this world lacks. And if you do not shine that portion, there will remain places that never see it. You need not know how to do anything grand. Walk on in fidelity, even if your steps still shake. That very fidelity will soften the ground beneath your feet and open a way for others to follow. Do not wait for perfection to begin. Begin with who you are now, honest, tired, yet carrying a spark that longs to blaze. For my dear one, heaven does not choose the strongest souls. Heaven chooses the willing ones. If today your heart grows soft in the light, take it as a sign. Heaven is touching you, not to send you chasing after something bigger, but to bring you back to what you already bear, the seal of courage. I, Michael the Archangel, do not summon you to anything I am not ready to fight beside you to accomplish. I do not invite you into the dark unless I go ahead to open the way. You are not alone. Do not let the voice of fear dim this truth. Though you cannot see me, I am here in the smallest movements of your day, in the sigh after which you still try to pray, in the days you see nothing and still refuse to turn back. In the mornings, you do not want to go on, and yet will not let go of the light. I was there and I remain there. You may think you are only a solitary soul trying to stand. But each step by which you stand firm rings powerfully in heaven. It stirs the heavens. It sets the hosts in motion. It heartens souls hiding in the shadows because they think themselves too ordinary to be called. I beg you, do not bury that light. If you do not kindle it, no one else can replace it. And if you do not walk your portion of the way, a stretch of road for someone else will never open. I do not require you to have every answer. I ask only that you be faithful to your first yes. Merely keep the flame, I will guard it. Be willing, I will fight for you. Do not turn away, and the rest the wings of heaven will spread over you. Trust me, not because my words are fine, but because your heart is confirming them with a deep peace, not a surface calm, but a holy stillness that knows you are no longer the same, for the light has touched you. And once it has touched you, it will not let you rest as before. Dear one, there will be times you are weary. There will be times you are disappointed. I do not promise it will all be easy, but I promise this: nothing you offer for the sake of the light is ever wasted. No sacrifice, however hidden, goes unrecorded. No tear shed for love fails to become a seed of redemption for you or for someone who follows after. Now, if you have read this far, I know you have been reached. And you are ready. Ready not because you are strong enough, but because you have consented to let the light lead. So I call you, step out from the shadow of doubt. Step forward in courage, walk as one called by name, sealed and sheltered beneath my wings. From this moment on, wherever you are, in a small room, at a corner desk, amid the rush of the marketplace, or in the deepest interior silence, you never walk alone. For I, Michael the Archangel, have been sent to protect you, to guard you, and to remind you that you are light, not the light of the world's making, but light from heaven, sealed, chosen, and never withdrawn. I bless you, your small but faithful steps, your tender heart that refuses to surrender, your soul that keeps choosing to believe even when feeling has faded. And now, beloved, the gate stands open. You have heard. You have received. Rise and walk as one who bears the seal. For you yourself are heaven's hope in days when the earth needs light more than ever. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and turn on notifications to walk with Saint Michael the Archangel and spread the light of God each day.